that I can count on them to keep my secrets, to speak with me about me in warm, positive regard, that I can tell them what I need and want without them making fun of me or rejecting me. I mean, basically, trust is when I can say, I'm safe with you. And I think we really need to understand that that's the most basic piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
That I can trust myself to be safe with you and entrust myself to you. Because we've all had these incredible experiences where we believe that we're creating emotional intimacy. So we have these nice moments and we feel close and all, and we disclose something. And then the next thing, we have a fight with that person or a disagreement, and all of a sudden they've brought those vulnerabilities out and they're throwing them at us like weapons. Like with most human beings, you can trust until they prove untrustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what we need to talk about today is how do you calibrate if that even is a good beginning point, right? I encourage people to be open to other human beings, but to have really careful ways to decide, is my trust well placed? Is my love well placed? Is my openness well placed? Because once we've been hurt, once we've been damaged, once we've been cast aside or discarded, that gets really hard to know. Can I? Should I? And I hear so many people in my groups and my clients say, nah, I'm never going to date again. I can't trust anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's such a shame because it's not true.
Yeah.
You can trust. And so that's something we really want to talk about today is building, rebuilding trust. I mean, I've had clients, I work with couples a lot, where somebody's done something pretty awful. But we can, with willingness and openness, rebuild trust. But if we've been discarded or we finally woken up and smelled the herbal tea and said, you know, my mother was a narcissist or I was raised by a hijackal, and I have this mindset, I have this way of looking at the world, and now I realize that all the things that they told me about me were not true. And yet I've gone through my life behaving as though they are true and letting other people like my mother or father, whichever hijackal parent we had, into my life.
Yeah.
And then finally I wake up and go, this is not good. No, I'm not having any more of this. And we have to do the work and find out where that all is. And so even as a young child, were we welcomed with joy?
And so when you become suspicious and you actually know the red flags, then you guard what you share with them so that you aren't giving away the farm. You aren't giving too much to them and making yourself vulnerable, right?
You know, how many times have somebody said to you, and I'm sure in your groups as in mine, they say, well, you know, I just jumped in and it seemed so wonderful and he or she was the perfect person. I felt like I died and gone to heaven and had my soulmate. And then it turned out to be so bad. Well, yeah, remember these narcissists, these hijackal narcissists, that's what they traffic in. They traffic in being the perfect person, that they read you like a book, they give you what you want, they make you feel the way they want to make you feel and the way you've longed to feel. And so you become bonded to them quickly because you believe, oh, finally.
So now we're telling that story, but to me, that's the most important part is how are they, and not just listen to their words, because listen to their actions.